time this season. Our beings from far-off worlds that most of the time come to Earth and invade us.
But sometimes a certain alien like Parasite comes down and fuses with a certain human, making them much more powerful than just the regular alien themselves. Just like these two regular people who now partner with an alien parasite.
Venom, Spider-Man's most famous enemy.
And Shinichi Izumi, the regular high schooler with the parasite hand.
I'm Demon and he's Archer.
And it's our job to analyze these characters to their fullest, looking for their feats and faults to see what would happen when these two fictional characters collide. Our story takes a world far from our own, where masked freaks run amok, sorcerers hide in the shadows, power-hungry tyrants force their influence for complete domination, and gods walk among men.
New York City!
Meet Eddie Brock, an up-and-coming journalist who was about to make the biggest break of his career, and by that, I mean his career was literally about to break.
Brock published a story that incriminated a man to be a serial killer. It just so happened that Spider-Man caught the actual killer on the same day. And so Eddie was publicly shamed for fucking up on the job.
Not only that, but he was fired the very same day, his wife divorced him, his deadbeat dad disowned him, and yeah, he also was diagnosed with cancer. And I thought Demon had an unfortunate life.
What was that?
Being the religious man he was, Eddie took to the church and begged God to take his life away and end his suffering. But it seemed the big man upstairs had other plans for the poor guy.
At the same time, a creepy alien parasite had a fallout with everyone's favorite friendly neighborhood respecter of hyphens. There's this symbiote bonded with Eddie. Their combined hate of Spider-Man formed a symbiosis between the two, and that day a new being was born. And what was this new being?
We are Venom.
And together, Eddie and the symbiote became an unstoppable, unkillable, and unrestrained psycho of New York City.
Well, not exactly. Most people don't know this, but Venom is actually obsessed with being a hero. Eddie more so. He has a very strict moral code that he follows so he can be a sort of protector of New York.
I'm so sorry about your friends.
You're saying that this guy is the protector of New York City?
Okay, not a peaceful one, but a protector nonetheless. Venom's the kind of guy who would save a baby, but also kill as many old ladies and nuns to do so. Killing people without mercy isn't really in his nature.
Aww. But that one to go Spider-Man thing is still totally on the table, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yes! What exactly is this goopy sludge monster? Turns out Venom is an alien known as a Klingtar, who are actually a peaceful race of aliens bred to be agents of Cosmos, working together with other beings to help others.
Unfortunately for Venom, he happened to be bonded with a host that was just so messed up. And this is partially the reason why Venom is filled with rage and bloodlust.
What's the other reason?
He merged with Deadpool for a few minutes.
You know what? Understandable. Being merged with Deadpool is as bad as Archer being your co-host for 3 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, what?
Venom can do anything a Spider-Man can. Wall crawling, web shooting, but he doesn't actually have a spider sense. Instead, he got a Dollar Tree knockoff version that uses ESP, which detects threats around him.
The symbiote can alter his biomass to form shapes out of his own body, such as shields, sharpened tendrils, and large parts of his own body, form blades, and even can sprout wings to take flight, and become your brand new sleep paralysis demon.
Venom's got a technique called the Psychic Shriek, where he blasts his gangster paradise. As such a frequency, it causes increases in depression. This scream has enough range to reach another solar system? What?
Well, because comics, obviously.
That's not a good explanation.
And the only one you're getting. Anyways, all these powers take up a lot of energy, so Venom refuels by chowing down on some good brain. Or chocolate, for some reason. What?
Like we literally just said, because comics.
But that... Anyways, Venom can't be the vigilante he wants to be without backing it up with some feats. In every fight he's against some friendly neighborhood man-spider, he managed to ragdoll Peter around like nothing.
And Peter's one tough son of a bitch. He survived blows that were equal to earthquakes, by his own word. He even survived being the center of this volcano blowing up. Measuring the inner volumes of the volcano and the energy needed to fragment the volcano, it would mean Spider-Man tanked at least 24 kilotons of TNT from the blast.
The pair are as tough as they are strong. For instance, Venom caused this gigantic generator explosion that managed to put Carnage out of commission, but Eddie and Venom got up just fine. And even if the big guy takes a hit a little too out of his league, his regeneration powers can patch him back up lickety-split.
Wait, shut up!
Okay.
Insanely unkillable, obsession with a certain food, an anti-hero version of a red and blue main character has a more chaotic and crazier counterpart? Oh my god, Venom is Wario!
What? No, you're probably just looking too much into things. Again.
I don't know. Venom and Warrior both have some fine asses, so...
God damn it. I hate this far more than I hate you. Jesus Christ.
Even though he's pretty cake, Venom actually is really fast. He's equal in speed to Ben Reilly, kept up with Daredevil, and even managed to blitz Spider-Man.
Spider-Man can dodge beams of light from Lightmaster and keep up with the mutant Dazzler, who stated that she's never even seen anyone move faster than Spider-Man before, and she moves at the speed of light. That's insane.
You think with all his power he'd be some sort of superior foe of Spider-Man, but usually he gets in way over his head a lot.
Venom tried his hand at protecting the innocent, but his attempts usually result in failure. Mostly because Venom makes things worse or because Eddie and the symbiote don't think things through very much.
You also have a weakness to extreme heat or being blasted by Gangster's Paradise at Mag Volume once again. Seems kind of random for a large, creepy gak monster, but I guess that's fine. Everyone who saw the Sonic trailer also hates Gangster Paradise.
Well, it turns out that's all thanks to the god of the symbiotes. He forged symbiotes in a forge, tempering them with fire and sound.
Did you just say symbiote god?
Yeah, it turns out this Null guy created symbiotes to bring about destruction all across the universe, but then they all kind of rebelled against him and literally trapped him in a prison of his own creation.
Well, I guess that's so unreasonable.
But then Null broke free of his 1,000-year imprisonment, jetted for Earth with some symbiote dragons, destroying many planets along the way, brought down some of Earth's mightiest heroes, and commanded a fleet of symbiote-controlled Celestials.
Archer, can you please stop?
Honestly, I'm just as astounded as you are right now. And I read the whole thing.
1,132 words ago, we were just talking about fun little cape ship adventures. How are we now talking about immortal space deities and universal conquest? How did Eddie get wrapped in all of this?
I don't know.
But because comics? Yeah, thought so.
With no one left to face Null, Eddie and Venom stood together as one against the deity. Fortunately, gods have nothing on New Yorkers, and the duo brought down symbiote Satan once and for all, saving the entire universe as well as being crowned the new god of the symbiotes.
Hell, during all this, Venom and Spider-Man managed to bury the hatchet once and for all. Looks like in the end, Venom became the hero they always wanted to be.
Eyes, lungs, pancreas. So many snacks, so little time.
Someone once thought, if there were half the number of humans, how many forests would we burn? If there was one human for every 100, then the poison they give off would be much less.
Archie, are you getting deep right now? Cause that's not what the show is meant for.
Anyways, this story begins with these tennis ball-sized things from space. Small aliens who were almost snake-like landed on Earth.
Sounds cool, right? But you won't think that after realizing they burrow into human heads and take control of your body.
That's when our main of this analysis appears. Shinichi Izumi was your average Japanese student until one night he met with one of these weird snake-like beings. He was about to have a snake-sized hole in his head, but something happened. It entered his arm and matured in it.
Everything seemed like a dream until weird, and I mean weird, stuff started to happen. I mean, he could control his arm, he could cast stuff without looking, he took out a gang of delinquents on his own with one hand. That's when he saw it.
Red hand failure.
Yeah, that's a way to say hello. This here is Migi, a parasite. A parasite is those snake aliens able to basically burrow into someone's heads and take the identity of another person. Sounds cool, but then you realize they feed on humans.
So you're saying these parasites could be anyone and anywhere?
Well, yes, but I'm sure there isn't one nearby.
Okay then, if you say so, Archer. Well, as a parasite, Migi is able to extend themselves, turn their fingers into sharp blades, and even become a part of Shinichi for a somewhat 2v1 style fighting.
But if Migi is away from Shinichi for too long, they could die. There's also the part where Migi can split themselves into multiple versions, but they get smaller and smaller and a lot more useless later on. Yeah, a lot of these upsides have a downside. Kinda like my time with Demon.
Yeah, hey, wait a minute. And right after Migi inserts himself into Shinichi's heart, it raises his body to be more of a superhuman. Not like flying or anything, makes him more stronger and faster and way more endurance.
Man, this is such a fascinating creature. Imagine all it costs for Shinichi was his right hand and that he can still use it when Migi sleeps from too much work.
Man, you seem to really like these parasites, Archer.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine how advanced a parasite is to nearly instantly enhance a body's strength so easily. And to add, Migi can sense and tell how close another parasite is nearby. and if all else fails, can temporarily detach themselves from Shinichi for a set period of time to do an almost 2v1 pincer attack. And lastly, Migi for a short time can insert themselves into another's body, or if it's controlled by another parasite, affects them greatly in combat. Almost like a way can be used for Shinichi to have a chance to run or deal a lethal strike on said enemy.
Yeah. With the enhancements Migi can give Shinichi, you'll be somewhat surprised at some of the feats these two have done over the short period they have known each other. Being able to sail through the 5 parasite inhabited being known as Goto. This guy can break through walls, take multiple shotgun shells, and send them all back flying at the center with ease, and even took a grenade to the face, I believe.
Aren't you gonna fact check that?
Shut up, you parasite!
What?
Nothing. He must not know that I know its true identity.
Okay then? And outside scaling to Goto, he was able to toss this rock from one building to another and decimate another parasite's body, and the wall was right behind him.
Now, given our estimate, the distance between the two buildings is around 87,500 feet away, and for the rock to get there would be at least 4 seconds. Given the stuff we have, the force that would cause the speed would be around 0.7 tons of TNT. Enough to destroy a decently sized building, which is impressive for Shinichi.
Now with speed, we have very little to work with, but we most likely can scale to Goto, who can easily stop bullets and run up to speeding cars. Yeah, that's one big issue with Parasite. You see, while yes, they're alien creatures, it's a very down-to-earth series 99% of the time. One good shot to the head, or being torn to shreds, can do Shinichi in.
And outside that, Shinichi, without Migi, is again just a human. No cool blades or anything of the sort, and Migi can get tired, leaving Shinichi to fight on their own.
And that's where it leads to the end of the story. After the adventures Shinichi and Migi had, Migi decided he doesn't need to be around anymore and decided to go to a permanent sleep. But not before leaving everyone with one message. Everyone deserves the right to live. Even a parasitic alien can learn to live with normal humans and doesn't deserve to have their lives taken away like everyone else. Maybe that's a lesson we all need to know in life, and more.
Oh, Arch, I don't care if you're a parasite! You're my pal!
Wait, what?
I'm gonna kill you now, and it's gonna be quick.
Now that these two parasitic pals are analyzed, it's time for them to fight.
Will this be a make-easy win for Shinichi, or will Eddie be able to marvel at his victory by the end of this venomous skirmish?
Wrong show, dude.
Wait, what?
It's time for these two fictional characters to collide.
Migi, you still detecting any signals?
Yes, 2 of my kind are fighting 100 meters from our current position.
Great. Just what I need. Where did they go?
Strange. It seems both signals have ceased. Wait. A new
What is it?
signal?
Here I thought we'd be in for a fight. But instead, who's this guy?
He feels different. Be on your toes.
We found easier prey. Fight! Come here, boy! Don't tell me you're finished already.
I can say the same to you. Huh? Ah! Whoa! Whew, that was close.
Shinichi, the car.
Car? With pleasure! Ah!
Let you the green brute who doesn't matter!
I'm orthodox. Still, no match for my...
And that's how it's done.
Not yet. What the?
Great. First he's some sort of mutant spider, now he's disappeared.
But he's still close. "50 meters. 30 meters. 10. 5.
Got you. What? That got it. Oh!
Where to begin? Should we both of your arms? Perhaps both of your legs? Maybe your face right off your head?
I will not allow that.
That friend of yours can't harass us anymore.
What?
What are you going to fight us?
Let me guess. Can't take him out from the inside?
Indeed. Let's get to higher ground to rethink our plan.
Agreed. If his physiology isn't the same as a normal parasite, we should start by...
You can't run from us, boy. Why deny us the meal?
Yeah, maybe in the next life, pal. Whoa!
You can't resist us forever.
Unfortunately for you, we can.
You've already tried this before!
Ah! Running out of options here, Miggy.
Perhaps a large fall would work.
Ah! Not again!
Maybe we should try the hornbill instead.
The window?
The window.
Ugh. Surely that did it, right?
I don't think it did. Shinichi, brace yourself.
Playtime is officially over!
Maybe he killed himself by doing that?
Shinichi, look out.
It's about time we ended this little charade of ours. Now, for what we came for.
Shinichi. Grab a rock and aim at that tanker.
Just like Shimada.
You've truly gotten desperate, haven't you?
Trust me, we're just full of surprises!
Come. Let's see what that tiny pebble can do to us.
It's finally over.
Shinichi,
We forgot to mention
there's still a signal.
that we are Venom. Your host failed as a symbiote, and now, melted in a way, we can finally... Now, on to the next meal.
Holy fuck, that's just kind of a badass way to kill him. For Shinichi though,
Yeah, besides having a much better team to work with each other, Shinichi and Migi really didn't have much against Venom. Yeah, Shinichi has that 0.07 ton rock throwing feat. That means nothing to Venom's scaling to Spider-Man's 24 kiloton volcano feat, making the strength and durability difference in almost a couple thousand times.
Speed also isn't a good thing for Shinichi either, especially with Venom's light speed and laser dodging feats, something Shinichi hasn't even gotten close to matching. Lastly, let's talk about the symbiote versus Migi.
While yes, Migi is impressive for their kind, they just had so many disadvantages that Venom can take over, especially since Migi limited the time to be off Shinichi and leaving Shinichi defenseless without him. While they couldn't really take advantage over the sound weakness Venom has unless they learned about it by accident.
Thing they won't get, especially since Venom also has a much more varied transformation and can even fly, giving them the much more mobile advantages in a fight they already have a great advantage over anyway. And one more thing, while yes, Migi can just go inside Venom to hurt them, it has no clear chance that it would actually work on Venom, since with a much weaker being like Ghosthost, it took days for a slight effect to even happen to them. And again, it would leave Shinichi useless.
So overall, while Shinichi was impressive in his own right, Eddie had the better strength, speed, and his symbiote partner was more impressive than what Migi could do, which gave him the victory. And just think, this is all without inducing Doni Cates and the King in Black feats.
Yeah, that would just be an insult to injury since it wouldn't change the outcome, just make it significantly more one-sided. Not that we really care about that anyway, but still, thought it would be a good idea to point out. But don't worry, Parasite fans, you know what they say, out of parasite, out of mind.
The winner is Venom.
Next time on Fictional Characters Collide.